Okay, dokie. I welcome every one of you guys out there to this tutorial of how to sew a banana busters. Just the other week I did the cutting. Now I want to do the sewing video. I don't have done a video of how to sew a busters, but this is the type of busters we call banana busters down here. So I want to show you guys how to sew it, in its peculiar way. As you can see, I have the material here with me on the table. It's already cut. That's the pass, the first piece and the second piece. Then I also have the patch. If you watch closely, you will notice a little difference between this one and the one that I cut on the video. The pattern is actually different, but it's still the same banana busters. Now this is the patch right here. That's the back side of the banana busters. You can see how it's looking, always in a triangular kind of form. Okay, now I'm going to set it on motion with the machine. Believe me, there's a lot of noise going on right now. That's why I always remove the background sound. Now the first thing to do is to set the patch on the machine. You need to set it in a way that the back side will be facing you. That's the right side of the material should be on the table, on the machine table. Then the wrong side of the material should be facing you, in an upright way. Just as I have done it. Then after that, you bring the half piece of the busters material and attach it to the patch. You can see how I'm doing it in the video. You need to make sure that they are all in equal line from the top. You will start sewing from the top. As always, you need to maintain a straight line when you are sewing. I hope you can see how the thread is going. I don't know, it's a white thread and a white stripe material. I just wish you could see the thread work of the work that I'm doing. And please, as you're sewing, you need to be sure that the patch and the busters piece are equal in length. It's very, very important, especially the downside. You need to make sure that they are equal, that the patch and the material, the piece of the material are equal in length. When I say the downside, I'm talking about this part that you are seeing right now. Yeah, the part that I started sewing from right now, they need to be equal, the patch and the piece of the material. Now I'm doing the second sewing. I'm sure you know how to do this. Yeah, of course you must know how to do this. By the way, what I did now is locally cut on and shoot. So funny though. We are making progress as the patch is already attached to one piece of the material. Now it's time to attach the other piece. While sewing this one, you need to start from the bottom. The first one we started from the top. Now you need to start from the bottom. Very, very important. We also did the turn and shoot thing. When I say the bottom, I'm talking about the smallest part of the patch. The bigger part of the patch is the top side, then the smaller part is the bottom part. Just like in triangle, the smaller part is always the bottom, at the bottom. Okay, bottom up. I'm gonna turn it over now and open it and shoot. Yeah. Your sewing space shouldn't be more than half an inch with a straight line as always. This buster is actually what makes this type of busters a banana busters. I don't know why they actually called it banana busters, but that's just what they call it. Every other sewing can be the same with the regular and every other type of boxers. The fly side and the lap side, the sewing, they are all the same. So now I'm doing the fly side or the front side of the boxers. The right side of the material is facing downwards, while the wrong side of the material is facing me, that's upwards. What I folded up there is about an inch. The next thing is to put the sizes. The sizes thing is actually an option. It's not really necessary or part of the work. I'm just putting it because it's available. But of course, you may want to put it if you are going commercial or you want it to look more professional. So that's the sizes. It's actually an S large sizes. You have to slide it in right under the folded side. But you want to make sure that the S large or whatever size is visible enough. I believe you know that the part I just sewn was the inner side of the fly. So the one that I'm sewing now is the front side. That's the visible part of the fly. I folded in about 1.5 to 2 inches. It shouldn't be more than 2 inches. You can see how I curved it. This is the front side or the visible side of the fly, the one that is always visible. Then I'm doing a second thread work. The space between the two threads shouldn't be more than half an inch. This is the front side of the face of the boxers. I wish you can see the thread work, how good it's looking. The next thing is to put the two fly sides together as I just did now. Then run a thread that's gonna hold them together. Then turn it and shoot again. This thread I'm running right now should be on the left side of the material. Please be mindful of that. And you need to maintain a straight line because this is the beauty of the fly. If you don't get this place right, your work is not gonna look good. And in case you don't get everything about this fly side, you can check out the other video of how to sew a boxers. I did another video about how to sew a boxers. You can copy the fly part of that work and apply it here. It's still the same thing. I also have another video about different ways of sewing a boxers fly. In that particular video, I didn't use a matching thread like I'm using now. I even used pieces of materials to do the work. So I think you can understand that video better than this one because I'm using a matching thread on this one. But you can still understand what I'm doing if you watch closely enough. I'm still on the fly side of the work. This is the single line thread that's always on the front side of the fly. Okay, the fly side is done and dusted. The next thing is the underside. Now in this underside, the back side of the boxers, that's the one that holds the patch, should be under. Then the fly side should be at the top. You are going to use the back side to fold the fly side, not the other way around. Watch to see how I'm doing it. And it's also a turn and shoot work. We are doing the turn and shoot because I'm using a single needle machine. If I'm using a double needle machine, I don't need to turn and shoot. I just sew everything once. I hope you understand what I mean. The thread work must be two lines. So if you are using a single needle machine, you need to sew times 2. But if you're using a double needle machine, you can only sew once. When I say double needle machine, I mean a chain stitch machine. That's a size closed machine. It's also used to sew boxers. It doesn't actually look like this one. The next thing is to fold up the legs, one after the other. The folding shouldn't be more than half an inch, at most 3/4. And as always, a straight line thread work is always the beauty of the work. This folding of a thing is like the easiest part of the work. The most challenging part is the front side, that's the flat side. I believe you agree with me. Then the next should be the patch side. Besides the underside, folding the legs or the left side is not that difficult. Now our boxers is ready, ladies and gentlemen. Here we have our boxers. Take a good look. It's very neat and okay. Let me fit it in, let me model it. You can see how it looks on my body. This S large, actually I don't usually wear S large. I do wear large, but this one is not looking bad on me at all. The next step now is to put the elastic, and you can check the back side. By the way, the patch there, the one thing that actually makes it banana boxers, you can see the curve there. I tell you, this is a perfect production, second to none. Everything about the boxers is okay. The only thing is that it didn't come with vents, because banana boxers usually comes with vents. But I'm gonna do another video about how to make vents on boxers, and I'm gonna leave a link to the video about how to put elastic. Please don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos.